This video is addressing the things that have helped me with my depression. All of them are natural foods and supplements that you can buy in a health food store. I personally take SAM E, and it has helped me greatly. You always want to research everything before you take it and know what you're taking and if it can be combined with anything that you're already taking. You want to cross-reference to make sure there's no drug interactions with anything that you might already be taking, because if you are taking any pharmaceutical type drugs, there are a lot of actual regular foods that counteract with the pharmaceuticals, but I personally don't recommend pharmaceuticals for dealing with actually, I'm just gonna take that back and say that I deal with my depression with natural food and natural herbs and medicine. I have a list of things that have helped me greatly in no particular order, and you should research these before you attempt to take them to know something about them for yourself. Rhodiola has helped me. It's an herb from the Arctic region, and it helps with energy. There's articles that I've read. Rhodiola is Rhodiola, and there are articles that suggest that it helps with depression and energy levels. Turmeric is another thing that I've taken that is very effective in addressing the inflammatory responses that occur with depression in your gut and your brain. There is a drink called golden milk that you can make with turmeric, and it's adding about a teaspoon to 8 ounces of your choice of milk. I don't recommend regular cow's milk because there's a lot of possible hormones in that, but almond milk is a good choice. But you add a teaspoon of turmeric, and you have to add a fat such as coconut oil and some pepper, like a couple pinches of pepper into it. It helps the absorption of the turmeric. So turmeric, a teaspoon of turmeric, pinch of pepper, and about a teaspoon of coconut oil. You can make a big batch of that. There's a paste you can make with turmeric, and you add the coconut oil and the pepper, and then you create a bigger batch of that paste, and then you would add like a teaspoon of that mixture to 8 ounces of milk, a milk of your choice, such as almond milk, and you simmer that until it's hot. And it's very good for addressing inflammation, and it helps with depression in my experience, and also is discussed in certain articles that you can find online. Something that can help with depression: 5-HTP, vitamin D, niacin. Matcha green tea is particularly good in my experience for clearing the fog that you can experience. It has an uplifting, energetic aspect to it. It has antioxidants. I believe it has EGCG. catechins in it. These are all things that have been shown to help with mood and energy levels, and it's particularly good with the antioxidant benefit. Any kind of green tea, but specifically matcha, is really beneficial because it's very concentrated. Saffron has been shown to help with depression. Siberian ginseng, cacao, chocolate in general, dark chocolate is very good. Chinese herbal medicine that I tried once for a limited time is supposed to help. I don't know how to pronounce this, but it's XIAYAO and then SAN. And St. John's wort can help, but it has a photosynthesizing effect on your eyes, which makes your eyes very sensitive to the sunlight. And sunlight is very good to have if you have depression. Well, sunlight is needed by everybody, but for vitamin D production. But being in the sun, if you're on St. John's wort, could cause your eyes to hurt, and I experienced that, so I stopped taking it. But a healthy diet is definitely recommended. You definitely want to address your gut issues. If you have been on Accutane or taken it or are on it, you want to have prebiotics and probiotics. You want to balance out your gut flora and fauna that exist. They speak about, there's a lot of sources that speak about your microbiome is where most of your serotonin is produced, and the microbiome is essential to your immune function and to your hormones and pretty much everything. Your microbiome is something you very much want to treat nicely with feeding it healthy foods, fruits and vegetables, fiber. Fiber is a prebiotic that feeds probiotics, and probiotics are in yogurt, kimchi, sauerkraut, miso. Miso is very good for prebiotic and probiotic benefits. Sauerkraut, pickles. There's a lot of good organic pickle brands that you can find. There's stuff called kefir. I guess that's a prebiotic, probiotic milk. It's milk derived, but think a lot of times it's made with cows, or not cow, but goat milk, and it is similar to miso. It goes through a what is that called when it's fermented? A fermented process. The fermentation allows it to be more easily digested, so the nutrients are quickly absorbed into your gut. So with these foods, and knowing that your gut most likely has been badly disrupted from the Accutane, you want to take prebiotic and probiotic. I would go for foods before supplements, because food is always more bioavailable and reliable. There are some good supplements, but food such as, again, the miso, sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, yogurt, fibrous fruits and vegetables are, again, the prebiotic food that you would need to feed the probiotics that are in things like yogurt. And other sources. Fish oil is supposed to be excellent for depression. There's articles that talk about walnuts, berries, fish oil, walnuts, berries, and I think tomatoes there's something in tomatoes that are supposed to help the inflammation in the brain. Basically any food, any fruit, vegetable that is grown in the ground is probably going to benefit you in some way, whether it's the fiber or the antioxidants or the all the wonderful things that foods can do for us. As the father of medicine, Hippocrates, said, "Let food be thy medicine, and medicine be thy food. Medicine be thy food." So, if you're dealing with depression from Accutane, you want to support yourself with a healthy diet. It is so necessary. It's absolutely critical that you address your diet. So many processed foods today there's so many symptoms and diseases that can come about just from eating a poor diet with all the processed ingredients and things like MSG. And I read that canola oil that is in a lot of baked things and packaged foods is really, really bad. Just all across the board. There was an article I read that canola oil, insects do not even eat this plant in nature. But more to the point, that the processing that canola oil goes through is what makes it particularly harmful. Similar to milk. Milk is largely harmful to most people because of the processing, such as homogenization and pasteurization. The homogenization can they spin it around in some kind of container that breaks apart the molecules, and it according to a source that I read, it can cause scarring of your arteries. And the processing of the pasteurization heats milk to such a high degree that it kills off the enzymes that would normally allow you to digest the milk. So raw milk is actually something many people, while it has the potential to be dangerous if it is manufactured in a unclean, unhealthy environment, but there's a lot of small scale farmers that do a really good job that clean their areas of the processing when they take the milk. Basically, raw milk is good for you, and it can raw milk is more digestible because it already has all the natural enzymes that allow it to be digested, whereas the store-bought milk does not have these any longer inside of it, and that is why many people have issues digesting milk, even if they're not lactose intolerant. But just to say that there are so many foods, natural, whole foods, fruits and vegetables, and there are supplements that are beneficial to dealing with depression and will help you greatly, immensely, in supporting your journey in dealing with the after effects of Accutane, which are pretty devastating for a lot of people. And I highly recommend addressing gut issues above first and foremost, because that's where I understand depression starts. It's actually in the gut. Your immune system is in about 80 to 90% of your immune system is in your gut, and the hormones and neurotransmitters they start in the gut, and they get relayed to your brain via the gut. And the health of your gut impacts how well those signals are relayed. And your microbiome, which is in your gut, all the flora and fauna, is a delicate landscape that you want to enhance by providing it with natural whole foods, fibers, prebiotics, probiotics. Again, sauerkraut, kefir, kimchi, miso, yogurt, hopefully organic yogurt. You want to feed it with those wonderful foods, and you should see a definite improvement in dealing with so many things, but particularly for this video, depression. And I hope all of you investigate and check them out. Probably a lot of this is already known by many people, but I just wanted to make this video in case anybody wanted to know more about what they can do on their own that's not a pharmaceutical drug. Okay, thank you for watching, and I hope this helps. Bye.